This channel is supported by Truefire. Truefire is an online library of
enough. You can get the Truefire All Access Pass for as cheap as they ever do it, the $99 thing. So just jump and do that if you're looking for the best price that you can get Truefire All Access for. So, my buddy Keith from fivewattworld, last night, it was close to my bedtime, and he asked me if I would do a video, I shouldn't be here yet, talking about, I think we have a similar philosophy on this sort of stuff, where I don't know how big Keith's house is, but for me, I don't have a ton of space, and typically, I think, even if when I didn't have any money to spend on this sort of stuff, I would still accumulate gear. I guess at the time, I was self-employed and gigging, and one of the ways that you can offset, you know, income is by buying gear, and it was kind of, you see it as this free thing to do. Otherwise, you're going to pay tax on some of this stuff anyway, even when I wasn't earning much money. It's kind of daft, and my wife was right, I guess, when I look back. If you could choose just 3 guitars, or like a 3-guitar collection, do you have any ideas on this? And he asked me to do an introduction on my K-line guitars, which one of them would make this list, but actually I think this list is a little bit different to that. So I wanted to just start this video off in maybe a different sort of way. Let's just kind of do it in order of whatever. So first of all, there may be some of you guys that do know that occasionally I play jazz. It's sort of been on the back burner since Elodie was born. I maybe should try and do a video on this. I don't know if any of you guys be interested in like a video just talking about the philosophy and experiences of trying to practice when you've got a child. Particularly, I think, before they go to school, I presume, is where it's like most hands-on. Anyway, I don't know, if you want that, you can email me. I don't know whether it'd be interesting to any of you, but I do sometimes get messages from some of you guys saying, how do you fit in practice? And I think I've got some thoughts on that. So, but it remains the case that I think that if you're going to dabble in this jazz stuff, having something like this around probably is of a benefit to me. I do jokingly call this my dad's guitar, because at the time I was kind of just trying to say to myself and my wife that I was buying it for someone other than myself, I presume. I did jokingly call it dad's guitar. He's never really even played it. So this is a Herb Ellis ES165. What I like about it is it's like an ES175, but without the thing that you're never going to use on an ES175, unless you do, in which case leave a comment below. But this is a, I think, 91, something like that, 1991, so is this vintage yet? Maybe. It's not the most lightweight. My buddy David Beebe has an ES175. Actually, maybe I'll get him to contribute to this. Why would I bother with this? I just think that as I get a bit older, I'm going to be getting back into jazz more so, and having an instrument like this around just feels right when you're playing that sort of stuff. Is it the only guitar that you can play jazz on? Absolutely not, but it is a guitar which you can basically only play jazz on, is the way that I would put it. So it kind of limits you into this wheelhouse. It's got flat wounds on it. When I'm doing jazz gigs with my buddy Will Edmonds at the Newt in Somerset, I'll take this along. It's just a perfect sort of instrument for playing jazz on, and almost nothing else. So that for me is why I like this guitar, because it's kind of like when I pick it up, I'm in jazz mode and that's it. And that's all there is to that. It's not the best hollow body in the world. It's the best one I've owned, probably. And when I play it, if you were playing in a band context, it's too hollow and too resonant for that to really work. It feeds back, so you might need a gate or a Pog 2 to get that to work. It does work really well for me. Comfortable sort of C neck, and it's bashed up. I think I paid £1,500 for this off a guy called Dave on the Fretboard forum. But yeah, it's definitely cured archtop gas for me, and that's a great thing. A 1991 Gibson Herb Ellis ES165 with a 7 at the end of the serial number, which was my favourite number. Now, if I didn't have that hollow body guitar, I would say that a Telecaster might be my second best choice for like a great jazz guitar, or an ES335. I wouldn't say that a Les Paul would be at the top of my list of like, if I had 3 guitars, just because I feel like that hollow body for my jazz cravings covers it well. And then other than that, I really prefer living in single coil land. I don't know if anyone can relate to that, but anyway, this might raise a few eyebrows, as some of you really do think that I've got buyer's remorse on this one, and I think some of you might be expecting me to instantly sell it. But the Nacho, this is kind of the thing I can't really get over, is that even though at the minute I'm sort of trying to have a rest, I can't stop picking it up from the case. And every time I do, I'm just reminded of just how much I like playing this guitar. So this is a very expensive guitar, and if I wasn't really enjoying playing it, it would be absolutely my first instinct to just sell it. Expensive guitars for me in the past were like half the price of this, and I've felt incredible guilt as soon as they came into the door, whereas this actually just feels like I want to play it, and that is, I think, the mark of a guitar that works for you on some level, right? And there is still this V-neck thing, which actually is a big part of the character of the guitar, and a thing that I actually like about it whilst I'm playing it, but I think I need to just introduce it a little bit more carefully. And if it was going to be sort of my number one guitar, or a guitar that I play all the time, I'd probably need to think a bit more carefully about what profile might be on it. But you know what my number one guitar choice is going to be. But in any case, I sort of see myself predominantly as a Strat player, but a lot of the time live over the years, I've been using a Telly, and the guitar that I've owned the longest is a Telly. And I don't know if any of you guys relate to this sort of thing where it's like, at home I really like a Strat, but live I kind of feel like a Telly works a bit better for me. But any case, this absolutely Herb Ellis choice 2, a Telecaster, and I've really fallen in love with the kind of blackguard aesthetic, the way it looks. It just looks right to me, and an aged one like this just looks beautiful, I think. Beautiful ugly thing, as well as sounding just right. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tricky one for me, because there's like this thing where the guitar doesn't really love me, but I really love it. Anyway, so that's the Nacho, which would be my second choice. And actually, the whole point with this buying a Nacho thing in the first place was helping me kind of get rid of a bunch of other gear that I didn't really feel that strongly about. Now, there is this little bit of like left-hand thing that I feel with this guitar as well, but at the same time, I totally love it. So there's like a whole bunch of feelings swirling around this guitar, which make me want to pick it up, make me want to give it a rest, make me want to stop resting it. So it's kind of a guitar which has a lot of feelings for it built up right now. So I guess that's a good thing. But as my hand starts to feel better, I'm going to start to reintroduce this, which is basically already started, because it's just I can't stop playing it. So that's a good sign. And it made it super easy actually to make this video, which I thought, you know, just having 3 guitars, which ones would I keep, was actually a bit more of a difficult choice, because I just had a load of Strats. I now no longer have that issue, because it's like, well, I know actually, like, it'd be that Herb Ellis, it'd be this Nacho, it'd be this Strat, the K-Line Ice Blue Strat. I think this is the guitar that I've had like the 3rd longest out of all of my guitars that I still have. So there's Twat 1, Twat 2, and then this. And I absolutely still love this guitar. I did have a lot of Strats at one point, and quite a few K-Line Springfields as well have come through my doors. And the kind of point for me was actually realised with my buddy David Beebe at the Birmingham Guitar Show. I looked at some 60s Strats, and what you can see when you see a guitar up close from the 60s is that that guitar has been played and played and played and played. Well, the ones that seem to have the most mojo seem to be the guitars that get played the most. And my kind of thought was, you know, if the more Strats I have, the more guitars I have as well, the less time I'm going to be spending with each guitar. Now, I did do a video talking about how I think actually, like what John Mayer and Keith Urban have said, was kind of true. Like, the more you play one specific guitar, the better you can play on that thing. And that was the whole point really with me, with this Strat thing, where it's like, actually, I know this is my number one guitar. I know this is the guitar that, you know, if I came home from not playing guitar for a couple of days or something like that, if I want to just express myself for a bit, this 95 times out of 100 is going to be the guitar that I come to and play. And so there's not really much point in having other Strats that I don't have this strong feeling about and sitting this in the cupboard so that I don't wear it out as much. Actually, some of the best guitars show their wear, they show their age. So let's let's wear this thing out. So that's my top 3. I'd love to hear your top 3. There's loads of videos on this. It's just a K-line Springfield, medium C-neck, 10-inch radius, 6105 frets, a lot of dirty blondes from 2010, a Wilkinson trem. It's very straightforward stuff, and I've loved each and every one of the K-line Springfields that I've played. It's just that this one is my favourite of all of them because I've played it the most, and that's what I'm going to continue to do with this guitar, is just play and play and play and play it. I wouldn't take it to every single gig, but at home this is the guitar that I go to most of all. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and again, share your favourites in the comments. And is this an easy decision for you? Do you even have 3 guitars that you would pick? This isn't about, you know, trying to be crass about certain things, like, you know, if your house was burning, all these kind of thoughts that we kind of have, which I don't want to wish that on myself or you. But just this idea about maybe you could have a smaller collection. I think it does help to just think about the place that the gear has in your home. And also, one of the things that Keith has said is not necessarily about having loads of guitars, but if you have a few, then you can actually, in some cases, afford for them to be, you know, slightly more desirable guitars for you, whatever those might be. Cheers for stopping by. If you like that preset, actually it was like a modified version of Eric Lee 2023. I'll drop it into the Gumroad folder. Essentially all I did was kind of take the delay down and reverb and put a slapback delay to do like a little bit of that Robin Ford thing. Catch you in another video soon. Cheers.